Welcome back to Pokemon episode summaries. Today, I'll be doing episode 55, Pokemon Paparazzi. The episode begins with Ash and the gang in the forest as usual, and they had currently stopped to take a break to eating Brock's rice balls that were from episode 29 with the Primeape that Brock had been cooking up. Misty was even feeding her Togepi little chunks as well. But anyways, Ash and the gang's peace was soon disturbed as Ash noticed what he assumed was a gun peeking out from the bushes, and immediately took action, wanting to protect his friends by trying to tackle them down, assuming the gun was about to hit them, and wanting them to dodge out of the way. The chaos causes a lot of the rice balls to be ruined, and the rice Brock was currently using to cook more of them to be knocked into the river, which caused Togepi to cry. No, not the goddamn rice balls! Misty gets pissed off at Ash for fucking tackling them and making a baby cry, but Ash defends that he was trying to fucking save their lives, as he thought that there was someone with a gun trying to shoot them. Misty and Brock don't believe him, so Ash sends out his Squirtle so that Squirtle can use Water Gun on the bushes to unveil who he thought would be the perpetrator, which Squirtle in fact does, as the water gun makes contact with a dude and his camera. That's right, Ash assumed that the camera was a gun. The guy then reveals that his name is Todd, and that he's a photographer. Well, no shit, you have a camera. And doesn't even seem concerned about the fact that he was just drenched in water. He's more concerned about the fact that his camera could have been broken. And to be fair, cameras are fucking expensive, man. Ash then angrily questions why Todd was fucking spying on them from the bushes, with Todd clarifying it was because he wanted to take a picture of Ash's Pikachu, and he couldn't take an authentic one otherwise if he just simply showed up and said, yo, I want to take a picture of your Pikachu, as it wouldn't hit the same as one where Pikachu was caught by surprise. Meanwhile, Todd then offers to make it up to Ash and the gang by taking them back to his house and offering them tea. It is there that he further explains that he wasn't just no random-ass photographer, but a famous one known for appearing in a whole bunch of Pokemon magazines. He then shows Ash and the gang one of his most notorious pictures, which was one of an Aerodactyl, at Grandpa Canyon. It's revealed that this Aerodactyl was the same one that terrorized Ash back in episode 46, and Todd had in fact taken a picture that actually had Ash in it. This causes Ash to get bitter that Todd got famous off of an experience that happened to Ash, when Ash should have been the one to get famous, as him being lifted up by a fucking Aerodactyl was way more interesting than Todd taking a picture of someone getting lifted up by an Aerodactyl. Todd then offers to make Ash and the gang some pancakes for breakfast, wanting to cheer up Ash and not have him storm off with Pikachu, who he wanted to get a picture of. As Ash and Pikachu eat, Todd tries to take a picture of Pikachu while having them distracted, but Pikachu notices the camera and proceeds to pose for the picture, absolutely nervous as it doesn't like having its picture taken. Todd instructs Pikachu to just act natural instead of posing, as he wanted a natural picture, but Pikachu can't act natural, as he fucking knows that he's getting his picture taken, and he's terrified, so he can't help the nervous look on his face. He also couldn't help shocking Todd when he tries to take the picture, due to being so scared that the shutter of the camera startled him. Ash laughs at Todd's misery, still bitter about the Aerodactyl incident, despite the pancakes, as Todd swiftly gets up and tries his best to take Pikachu's picture once again, but Pikachu obviously still fails to act natural. This pisses Todd off, who states how Pokemon acting natural were the most fucking important thing of a good photo, and why he was famous in the first place, as he shows Ash and the gang some of his famous photographs, such as 2 Eevee hugging each other in the wild, 2 Chansey, some Snorlax sleeping, a Kangaskhan and his child, a Dugtrio, a Mankey. Okay, you get the picture. Picture, get it? But anyways, Ash and the gang do admit that all these pictures were pretty fucking good, and Todd reiterates how it was because all of the Pokemon were caught in their natural habitat, where they look a lot happier, and it makes the picture a lot better in the long run. And honestly, he's right here. He has a point. Ash and the gang then proceed to offer Todd the rest of their Pokemon for him to take pictures of, hoping that they would be more receptive to pictures as opposed to Pikachu, but Todd declines, stating that Pikachu was the only Pokemon that he wanted to take a picture of, but he ominously stated that he couldn't tell them the reason why, and that it was a secret. Ash and the gang are disappointed, as they all sent out every single one of their fucking Pokemon, all for them to just be fucking denied, all for Pikachu, as Todd gets fired up and claims with determination that he was going to capture Pikachu no matter what. Pikachu misunderstands this, thinking that it meant that Todd was going to capture him like Team Rocket would, and starts to panic. Oh yeah, that's going to help you take a picture of him in his natural state, Todd, good job. Ash and the gang then continue on their journey, leaving Todd's house, not wanting Todd to take a picture of Pikachu if Pikachu was going to be uncomfortable with it. Despite this, Todd spies on Ash and the gang from the bushes as they're walking without them knowing, stating how he needed to capture Pikachu. The reasoning for this is revealed as we see a flashback of 2 old people going up to Todd and showing them a picture of Ash and Pikachu, stating that they wanted him to take a picture of this Pikachu as their last dying wish, specifically using the word capture. Todd accepts the old people's request without questioning why they had a picture of this Pikachu already. Like, if they had a picture of Ash and Pikachu already, why did they need another picture of the Pikachu? The old couple thank him as they cry happily, and it's revealed that the reason why this request seems so poorly thought out was because this old couple was actually Team Rocket in disguise, and when they asked Todd to capture Pikachu, they were under the impression that capturing meant capture, not capturing a picture. Essentially, Meowth had found Todd being talked about in the Pokemon news magazines, and read that he captured Pokemon without paying attention to anything else, and this caused him to assume that he was a professional kidnapper, so they wanted to hire him to capture Pikachu. Now, you may question how Meowth didn't realize that Todd was in fact a photographer after Todd captured Pokemon as opposed to being a photographer when he read the fucking thing in the newspaper that should have stated that he was a photographer, but it's cause Meowth assumed that all the pictures that were beside Todd in his magazine entry were pictures of Pokemon that he had kidnapped as opposed to Pokemon that he had taken pictures of. Fucking stupid Meowth. Team Rocket then finished their luxurious meal that they were enjoying in anticipation for Todd to deliver them the Pikachu as they took off their old disguises and put back on their Team Rocket outfits. Meanwhile, Ash and the gang had stopped at yet another forest, stopping by a pond to wash their faces. As Ash and Pikachu washed their face, Todd was revealed to be right behind them and tried snapping Pikachu's picture. But he stepped on some cans while doing so, alerting the Pikachu and causing him to run behind Ash, not wanting to have his picture taken. Todd then tried again a few minutes later, trying to capture an upside-down picture of Pikachu from up inside a tree so that he could hide inside the tree and not be spotted, but he was spotted, leading Pikachu to run behind Ash yet again, still not wanting his picture taken. Ash then just told Todd to give up, saying that he would never let him take Pikachu's picture, since Pikachu would be uncomfortable. All of his failed attempts made Todd very frustrated, so he decided to get the fuck out of there and take a breather. Meanwhile, Team Rocket was digging one of their infamous hole traps, planning to use it for either Ash and Pikachu if they came by, or for Todd if he failed to successfully capture Pikachu like he apparently promised. Right as the hole is finished being dug, and Jesse and James begin covering it, Meowth then spots Todd, informing Team Rocket to get into their old people disguises so that he wouldn't find out their true identity. Team Rocket obliged, but they end up getting their costumes mixed up at first, with Jesse going into James's and James going into Jesse's, but they do eventually get that situation sorted out before Todd comes up to them. When he does, he reluctantly informs them that he has failed to capture Pikachu so far, which leads James to foolishly, loudly say to Jesse and Meowth that they should put Todd in the hole as punishment. But thankfully for Team Rocket, Jesse and Meowth are able to silence James and drag him away before he's able to finish his sentence. Todd then assures Team Rocket that he will capture Pikachu, and proceeds to put his camera on a tripod and hide in the bushes, knowing that Ash and the gang would pass by the area eventually as they were continuing on their journey. Ash and the gang do eventually walk by Todd, but they were taking safety measures in order to protect Pikachu from being captured by having Pikachu hide in Ash's bag so that he could easily duck if they spotted the camera. An idea thought up by Ash, who angrily criticizes Todd for taking pictures of Pokemon even though they didn't want their pictures taken, stating how he was essentially abusing them by doing so. Todd overhears this, but he doesn't seem to have a change of attitude whatsoever, not believing that he was abusing Pokemon in any way. And I mean, I wouldn't really call it abuse or anything like that. Sure, Pikachu doesn't want his picture taken, but I mean, it's not like Todd was using these pictures for nefarious purposes. Okay, maybe using them for fame was a little twisted, but I digress. Anyways, Brock then sees Pikachu hiding in Ash's bag as it dips even farther down, and comments how much Pikachu must dislike having its picture taken if it was willing to go deep down in Ash's bag, because fucking who knows what was in Ash's backpack, bro. Like, they've been on the road for fucking months at this point, probably. Just then, Ash and the gang fall into the hole trap that Team Rocket had set, instantly knowing that it was Team Rocket, because who else fucking digs holes like this? Jesse and James are spying on them from the bushes, and smile in amazement that their hole trap actually worked for once, instead of them falling into a hole. Despite Ash and the gang and Todd not seeing eye to eye, when Todd notices Ash and the gang fall into the hole, he still runs over to help, as even he didn't want them to have to rot in a hole forever, and likely he just didn't want Pikachu to have to rot in a hole forever as well. In fact, when he gives them the rope to get out of the hole, he then immediately starts trying to take a picture of Pikachu still, not even wasting a moment. Even trying to take the picture, despite Pikachu trying to duck away still in Ash's backpack. Jesse and James then spot Todd by the hole, and question why the fuck he was trying to help them out of it with some rope, and see that he has a camera. Meowth then pulls out the magazine that he originally found out about Todd in, and reads it more carefully this time, thereby revealing the truth that Todd was in fact a photographer after all. Jesse and James are furious at Meowth's stupidity. Like, how could you fucking have mistaked a person who takes pictures for someone who captures Pokemon, you fucking idiot? And they punch him into the sky, fucking uppercut style, damn. Todd was still trying to take pictures of Pikachu as Ash started to climb up the rope, when suddenly, it's revealed that Team Rocket can't even fucking dig holes right, as the dirt cracks and gives out and collapses, sending Ash and Pikachu down into an underground cavern. Now, if I were Team Rocket, I would have attempted to dig to the very bottom of the ground originally, you know? That way you could avoid something like this. You would have known that there was a secret underground cavern just magically underneath the ground. Anyways, either out of the kindness of his own heart, or perhaps as a form of thanks for Ash letting him take pictures of Pikachu in the hole, or at least attempt to, Todd decides to jump down and go after Ash in an attempt to save him, as Ash has landed in not only the underground cavern, but in the water in the underground cavern. And he was caught in the flow, unable to stop floating. Todd eventually reaches where Ash was by running alongside the water on the pavement, and is able to run ahead of Ash and spot that they were heading towards a huge waterfall, which was why they were being pushed with such a flow. Todd informs Ash to grab onto something so he wouldn't go over, but Ash is like, what the fuck do I grab onto? Like, I have nothing to grab onto. So, Todd decides to throw him his camera strap. I'm sure after much deliberation, because throwing the strap means that the camera would go in the water as well, which it does, absolutely fucking it up and destroying anything that Todd had on it. With Ash and Todd each holding an end of the camera strap, it means that Todd is able to successfully pull Ash up right as he almost goes over the waterfall, thankfully. Ash realizes in complete shock that Todd had willingly sacrificed his camera to the point where it was now fucked just to save him, even though they got into an argument, and proceeds to thank him. Todd shockingly replies that a human life was obviously more important than his camera, which surprises Ash and me, considering what he said at the beginning of the episode when Squirtle sprayed him. Really, he probably was just like, you know what, I can just buy a new camera, bro. Everything I have is already saved to my computer. It doesn't matter. Anyways, Team Rocket, tired of waiting for Todd at this point, then arrive, still in their old people disguises, but they swiftly remove them, being done with the fucking facade. They didn't care about trying to trick Todd anymore. They then do their usual motto, as they act for themselves, scooping Pikachu up in a net, with Ash unable to do anything, as he was still being pulled up by Todd. Speaking of Todd, he angrily questions Team Rocket on why they would fake their identities and pretend to be dying, also that they could have him capture Pikachu, with Jessie rebutting that Todd had tricked them as well, due to him not being a Pokemon kidnapper, but a Pokemon photographer. But fucking Jessie, he didn't trick you. Meowth was just a fucking dumbass. You know this. You already punished Meowth. James then throws a bomb into the water, but being okay with trying to fucking kill Ash. But thankfully, James has terrible aim and misses, hitting the waterfall instead. But hitting the waterfall still does something, causing Todd to begin to lose his grip, as the water's flow had been disturbed. Meanwhile, on land, Pikachu was attempting to escape from Team Rocket's net, but was failing due to it being made of rubber. Man, Team Rocket really thought this plan through, huh? If only James was a better thrower. As James attempts to throw more bombs, still failing repeatedly, this gives Ash enough time to come up with an idea. Knowing how much Team Rocket valued being stylish and presentable due to all of the disguises that they had, he decides to grab Todd's broken camera and pretend to take Team Rocket's picture. Now, I don't know how they would fall for something like this, as it was obvious that Todd's camera would be dead if it was in the water, right? Did they think it was waterproof or what? But Ash's idea does work, as Team Rocket spots the camera as James is about to throw another bomb, and they all instantly pause, with Jessie doing her makeup and James smiling excitedly, so that they can have their picture taken. While waiting for Ash to take the picture, which he obviously couldn't do, James forgets that he has the bomb in his hand, and the bomb explodes onto them, leading Jessie to kick James, mad at him for his complete stupidity. With Team Rocket distracted, Ash is able to successfully be pulled up the rest of the way by Todd, and Ash then proceeds to send out his Bulbasaur, and have him use Razor Leaf, which is able to cut the net and free Pikachu. He then has Bulbasaur use Vine Whip, and the Vines chase Team Rocket away as they run away, not watching where they were going, so they proceed to run into a river, which is flowing at an immense rate, so they also then fall down a waterfall. Hey, at least they didn't blast off this time. Brock and Misty then arrive, somehow managing to escape the hole, probably utilizing the rope somehow. And Pikachu returns to Ash, having escaped from Team Rocket's net, due to the Bulbasaur's Razor Leaf. Ash and Todd then proceed to happily talk about how awesome Pikachu was, which shocks Brock and Misty, who expected Ash and Todd to still be at odds as they were before. Ash then confirms that him and Todd were now friends due to having a common love for not just Pikachu, but all Pokemon, and their happiness, with Ash realizing that Todd didn't intend to make the Pokemon disturbed when he took their pictures. He simply wanted to capture their happiness as best he could. Now having repaired his camera, Todd then suggests that they all take a group photo to celebrate their new friendship. They initially all attempt to pose, but, funnily, Todd slips on one of Brock's rice balls somehow, implying that Brock was trying to make them again, which also knocks Ash and Misty out of their poses down on the ground. This just makes Todd appreciate the picture more, as there was no element of fakeness in the rice ball slip, being the epitome of natural.